Embark on a journey through time, back over 2,000 years, to the heart of ancient Egypt. Here, the books of the dead served as sacred guides, etched onto papyrus, believed to contain the very keys to navigating the treacherous path to the afterlife. These texts, imbued with spells and divine wisdom, promised the soul's safe passage through the netherworld to the eternal peace of the afterlife. The story of the books of the dead begins not with paper, but with stone. In the pyramids of the Old Kingdom, around 2686 to 2181 BCE, we find the first hints of these funerary texts. Carved on tomb walls, these early spells, known as the pyramid texts, were reserved for pharaohs and royalty. As centuries passed, the desire for a good afterlife spread beyond the elite. During the Middle Kingdom, roughly 2055 to 1650 BCE, a new set of spells emerged, the coffin texts. These texts, written on coffins, became accessible to wealthy officials and common people. Finally, during the New Kingdom, from about 1550 to 1069 BCE, the spells evolved into what we now know as the Books of the Dead. Written on papyrus scrolls, these texts were highly personalized. They reflected the individual's hopes and fears for their journey through the underworld. The creation of a Book of the Dead was an intricate process. Scribes, skilled in the art of hieroglyphics, would carefully write the spells. Often these texts were adorned with vivid illustrations depicting scenes from the afterlife. As we delve deeper into the past, imagine the bustling life of ancient Egypt. Temples stand tall against the sky, their grand facades adorned with intricate carvings. Priests in ornate garments perform sacred rituals, their solemn faces reflecting the weight of their sacred duties. Artisans with meticulous care craft scrolls that will become the Books of the Dead, each stroke of the reed pen a testament to their devotion. The ancient Egyptian Books of the Dead, written between 1991 and 50 BCE, were used for nearly 1,500 years by a civilization that sought to understand the mysteries of existence beyond death. Penned by learned scribes and priests, these texts were more than mere writings. They were vital companions for the departed, buried alongside them to ensure their journey to the afterlife was a successful one. Focus on close-ups of ancient scrolls with hieroglyphs meticulously inscribed and richly colored illustrations depicting gods, spirits, and the afterlife. The camera slowly pans over scenes of the deceased being led by Anubis, the god of mummification, through the underworld. The Books of the Dead were sacred texts, not merely read but revered. Containing potent spells, incantations, and vivid illustrations, they served as spiritual maps, guiding the souls of the dead through the underworld's perils. Each spell was crafted with care, offering protection, guidance, and ultimately the promise of eternal life. Visual depictions of key elements, Anubis weighing the heart against the feather of Maat, deities like Osiris and Isis, and mystical creatures that populate the afterlife. The animations bring these scenes to life, giving viewers a glimpse into the beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. The spells. Among the many spells, those for the weighing of the heart were of utmost importance, ensuring the deceased's heart was lighter than a feather, a testament to their virtue, allowing them to pass safely into the afterlife. The illustrations. Every illustration was more than mere decoration. They were visual guides depicting the journey through the afterlife, with deities and symbols that provided the deceased with the knowledge and power to overcome any obstacles in their path. As we transition from the mystical realms of ancient Egypt to our modern world, the legacy of the Books of the Dead remains as profound as ever. In scholarly circles, these ancient scrolls are meticulously studied, each hieroglyph and illustration offering a glimpse into the spiritual and cultural depths of a civilization long past. Museums around the world proudly exhibit these texts, their delicate papyrus preserved behind glass, inviting visitors to peer into the beliefs and rituals that shaped the ancient Egyptian understanding of the afterlife. The influence of these ancient manuscripts extends beyond academia and museums. They permeate our art and culture, inspiring countless works of fiction, film, and visual art. The contrast between the ancient and modern worlds highlights the enduring legacy of these manuscripts, a bridge connecting us to the timeless human quest for meaning beyond death. The legacy of the ancient Egyptian books of the dead is profound, influencing not only our understanding of ancient Egyptian spirituality, but also the broader human quest for meaning beyond death. Today, these texts are studied by scholars, revered in museums, and continue to captivate the imagination, reminding us of the timeless human desire to unlock the mysteries of life and death. To truly understand the books of the dead, one must delve into the rituals and practices that surrounded their use. These texts were not mere collections of spells and incantations. They were integral to the funerary rites that ensured safe passage into the afterlife. Imagine a grand procession, the deceased's body adorned with amulets and surrounded by mourners chanting sacred hymns. Priests clad in ceremonial attire recite passages from the books of the dead, invoking the gods to protect and guide the soul. The ritual of opening the mouth, a critical ceremony, involved touching the mouth of the deceased with a special tool, symbolically allowing them to speak and eat in the afterlife. Each ritual, each chant was meticulously performed to ensure that the journey to the afterlife was successful and that the deceased would be granted eternal life. These practices were deeply embedded in the culture, reflecting the ancient Egyptians' profound belief in the power of words and rituals to transcend the mortal realm. Imagine stepping into a tomb, the air thick with the scent of incense. Your eyes adjust to the dim light, revealing walls covered in hieroglyphs and vibrant images. You are surrounded by the Book of the Dead. Some spells are written as hymns, praising the gods and goddesses of the underworld. Others are incantations, uttered to ward off evil spirits or overcome dangerous obstacles. Still others are confessions, declarations of innocence and purity, vital for passing the judgment of Osiris. The illustrations within the books of the dead are equally compelling. They depict the deceased navigating the underworld, encountering gods and monsters, and ultimately standing before Osiris for judgment. These images, filled with symbolism, bring the journey to life. One of the most iconic scenes depicts the weighing of the heart ceremony. Anubis, the jackal-headed god of embalming, carefully weighs the heart of the deceased against the feather of Ma'at, representing truth and justice. Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom, records the results. The outcome of this judgment determined the fate of the deceased for eternity. Section 6. Echoes of Ancient Wisdom. The books of the dead offer a window into the ancient Egyptian psyche, revealing their beliefs, fears, and hopes. These texts were not simply about death, they were about life, morality, and the quest for spiritual fulfillment. The spells emphasizing truth, justice, and compassion resonate even today. They remind us of the importance of living a life guided by ethical principles, not just for earthly rewards, but for a harmonious existence beyond. The books of the dead also highlight the human fascination with the afterlife. Across cultures and throughout history, we find stories, myths, and rituals that grapple with the mysteries of death and the possibility of an existence beyond the grave. Section 8. The Books of the Dead, a Bridge Through Time. Today, the books of the dead are more than just ancient artifacts. They are bridges connecting us to a civilization that flourished thousands of years ago. By studying these texts, we gain insights into the lives, beliefs, and aspirations of the people who left an indelible mark on human history. These texts, once buried in darkness, now reside in museums and libraries worldwide. They are studied by scholars, admired by art enthusiasts, and cherished as windows into a lost world. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating explorations into history.